Hello and welcome to Sports Freak on Made in Africa TV. My name is Onesifere Sobobi. In today's episode, we take a look at an update of Mohamed Kudus's injury in their Cup League winner against Feyenoord. Now, also take a look at Chelsea as they have appointed former manager and legend Frank Lampard as standing coach. And in the FIFA ranking, Ghana drops in the FIFA ranking. But did you know that per the new tax that have been accepted by Parliament, 10% of bet stakes and lotteries will go to the government as tax? Well, there are some reactions from some section of Ghanaians. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button if you haven't done so, and comment and share. I beg you, kindly share for me so that the whole world to see the good work that we are doing here at Made in Africa TV, for the world to also see what you're doing and all that. If you want to do business with us, you can send us a WhatsApp on the numbers below. So we move to our very first story. So Chelsea have appointed Frank Lampard as caretaker coach until the end of the season, following Sunday's dismissal of Graham Potter. Now the club announced that today. So Lampard took Chelsea training on today ahead of Saturday's Premier League game at Wolverhampton Wanderers. He has returned to the club he managed until 2021, while the search for a long-term appointment continues, with negotiations ongoing with a number of candidates to replace Graham Potter. You know, he's Chelsea's all-time leading scorer with about 211 goals, and Lampard has been out of work since leaving Everton in January. He previously took charge at Chelsea in 2019 to 2021, led them to fourth in the Premier League and FA Cup final, where they were beaten by Arsenal. He was also sacked. He was sacked the following season by Roman Abramovich and replaced by Thomas Tuchel, who did phenomenally well. But of course, he was also sacked by Egbedard and Todd Bowley for this particular season. Now was replaced by the woeful and shambolic Graham Potter. So according to Egbedard and Todd Bowley, this was what they wrote. It says, "We are delighted to welcome Frank back to Stamford Bridge," co-controlling owners Todd Bowley and Bedard Egbali have said. Now, according to them, Frank Lampard is a Premier League Hall of Famer and a legend at this club, and as they continue their thorough and exhaustive process for a permanent head coach, they want to provide the club and their fans with a clear and stable plan for the remainder of the season. Let me just quote the remaining part of their statement. "We want to give ourselves every chance of success, and Frank has all of the characteristics and qualities we need to drive us to the finish line. We have an important game against Wolves on Saturday, and then we will turn our attention to our Champions League quarterfinals in Madrid next week. We are all going to give Frank our full backing as we aim to get the best possible outcome from all our remaining games." And this is coming from Egbedard and Todd Bowley. Well, Frank Lampard, I would say congratulations to you here, but let's see what goes on in the near future. Moving on to our next story. Did you know that the Black Stars have dropped in the latest FIFA rankings? Well, check this out. So the Black Stars have dropped from 59th to 60th in the latest FIFA World Rankings release, following the latest round of international matches that were played in March. The Black Stars engaged in 2 games in the 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers and the new boss Chris Hilton. So Ghana beat Angola in Kumasi at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Although it wasn't convincing, a last-minute strike by Antoine Semenyo. At least we got the 3 points, and we went to Luanda the following week and drew 1-1. Can't get to see a super sub goal who was just on the pitch for less than 2 minutes. That's Osman Bukari, who tapped in Joseph Pinto's assist. So according to FIFA, Ghana currently sits in 60th place in the world and 11th in Africa. So the likes of Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Morocco, all these countries are ahead of us. Egypt, they are ahead of the Ghana Black Stars. And we currently sit at the top of Group E with 8 points in the qualifiers. Now, followed by the Central African Republic, they have 7 points, Angola with 5 points, and then Madagascar, who are rocking the bottom with just a single point. The Black Stars will return to action for the last qualifiers against Madagascar and Central African Republic in the month of September. Now, I'll move on to another one sad news, and that has to do with Ghana midfielder Kudus Mohammed. He has picked up an injury in Ajax Amsterdam's 2-1 win over rivals Feyenoord in the semi-final of the Dutch Cup. So the 22-year-old started the game, and then he picked up what looked like a muscle injury before being substituted on the 60th minute mark, and he was replaced by Portugal's Francisco Conceição. Now, it's not clear the extent of the injury or whether the Black Stars player was only substituted as a precaution, but he went down clutching his hamstring. Kudus is enjoying most prolific season yet, 18 goals in 38 games so far, while contributing 4 assists. So speedy recovery to him, and we just pray that it was just for precautionary measures and then not for injury reasons. Now, in our final story, I made mention of the fact that there has been an approval of 3 bills on taxes. Yes, and that happened on March 31st. So some Ghanaians sport fans are expressing mixed reactions after government decision to introduce taxes on lotteries and sports betting. The government has said they want to widen the tax net, and as a result, they're embarking on this to make sure that they increase the tax net, and then every Ghanaian within the tax frame will have access to paying tax. So on March 31, Parliament approved 3 bills on taxes: the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, and the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. Now, they were tabled before it as part of government measures to generate more revenue, and it's estimated that government will rake close to about $3.4 billion. Dollars, about $5.6 billion, and the government will be making from that particular deal. So government is expecting the implementations of these bills, and it's expecting that as this goes on, it creates that environment where we can finally assess the IMF deal that we want to. So the components include a 10% withholding tax at the point of payment, and deduction from winnings from lottery, sport betting, and games of chance. So ahead of the presidential assent, some young folks, some investors, let me put it in that way, who are adept at betting, who have made a lot from betting, have put forth some complaints. Let me just read some of these complaints for you. Now, this one says 10% on my tax winnings, and it's a tweet from one guy, Derek. This has made them just put knife in our throat and finish us. What kind of news is this? This one says this government has a special place in hell. But it should start right here so I can celebrate their demise. Now, this one says now the youth into brackets investors will be more concerned and I will actively get involved when national issues are being discussed. 10% is too harsh. The politicians want to kill us. And interesting pictures. We'll be rolling these pictures on the screens as you'll be seeing them. And there comes a picture of it with a young boy crying, and then he has a mobile phone in hands, and there's a post attached to it. And this one says that I should use my head to face odds while government sit on the other end of the table waiting for winning percentage. Anyway, so this is where we draw the curtains on Sports Africa on Made in Africa TV. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button for more stories. My name is Onesifero Sobobi, and see you in our next video.